Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. On today's tutorial, I will demonstrate how to make a camp collar. This collar is often confused with a notch collar, which I made in a previous tutorial. In this tutorial, I will show you the right way to make a camp collar which is different from a notch collar. Notch collars are found on suits, jackets and blazers, while camp collars are found on pyjamas, male and female casual shirts, and so on. Hi, my name is Ayel and welcome to 011 Clothings Tutorials. On this channel, I upload DIYs, pattern drafting and sewing tutorials. If you haven't subscribed yet, kindly do so. And do not forget to turn on the notification bell so that you'll be notified whenever I upload a new video. So now, let's get right into the tutorial. Thank you! I'm working with the following items: tape measure, pins, tracing wheel, water erasable fabric pencil. Ideally, a pencil should be used to draft a pattern, but for tutorial purpose, I'll be using this marker pen, a pair of paper scissors, a pair of fabric scissors, rulers and curves, some interfacing, my fabric of choice, the front and the back basic bodice pattern paper. These are the front and the back basic bodice patterns. The back piece will be cut on fold. On the front pattern piece, I will go ahead and draw out the facing. I will measure and mark 2.5 inches at the top and 3 inches at the hem of the pattern. I will now draw out the front facing like this. This side is 3 inches from the center front. I will paint the front pattern on this new pattern paper like this. I will include a 1-inch button stand at the center front of the front pattern like this. I will now fold the pattern along the button stand line like this. Then I will trace out the facing to the other side of the paper. I will also trace out the dots. I will now cut out the front pattern. I will remove the old pattern piece from the new one. Then I will draw out the center front line and also the dots. These are the front and the back pattern pieces. I have to draft the pattern of a simple convertible collar. To do this, I will first of all measure the front and the back neckline curves. The button stand will not be included in the measurement. The front neckline curve gave me a value of 4 inches and 3/4, and the back neckline curve gave me a value of 3.5 inches, and the sum of these two values is equal to 8 inches and 1/4. I will now draft the convertible collar pattern on this paper. First, I will draw a margin of about 2 inches from the edge of the paper, like this. The sum of the front and the back neckline curve is 8 inches and 1/4. So I'll go ahead to measure and mark 8 inches and 1/4, like this. I will draw a vertical line. Next, I will measure and mark 3 inches like this for the width of the collar. I will now connect these 2 points together like this with a horizontal line. I will divide the length of the collar, which is 8.25 inches. I will divide it by 3, and this is equal to 2.75 inches. So from this end, I will measure and mark 2.75 inches like this. I will connect the 2 points together with a vertical line like this. From this lower end, I will go up by half an inch like this. I will now connect these 2 points together like this with my ruler. From this end, I will go out by half an inch. I will now connect these 2 points together. This is the center back of the collar and it will be cut on fold. I will now cut out the convertible collar pattern. These are the 3 pattern pieces that I will be using to make the camp collar design. I'll go ahead and cut them out on my fabric. So now I have gone ahead to do the cutting. As you can see, I used half an inch seam allowance all around the patterns, except for the side seam where I used 1 inch side seam allowance. I cut 2 pieces for the front, and I cut 1 piece on fold for the back. I cut 2 pieces on fold for the collar. I will notch the button stand and the center front positions on the fabric at the top and also at the hem. This is the convertible collar. I have fused interfacing to the wrong sides of the 2 front pieces at the interfacing and button stand area. I have also fused interfacing to the wrong sides of the 2 collar pieces. These are the 2 front pieces. I will go ahead and fold the facing like this along the button stand. I have already notched the position of the button stand on the fabric. Right sides are now together. I will go ahead and sew the top edge of the 1 inch button stand using half an inch sewing allowance on the 2 front pieces. These are the 2 collar pieces. I will also go ahead and sew the collar like this using half an inch sewing allowance. Right sides are together. So now, as you can see, I have sewn the top edge of the 1 inch button stand using half an inch sewing allowance on the 2 front pieces. I will snip where the stitching ends vertically like this. I will also snip the same allowance like this, and then I will turn it to the right side. I have also sewn the collar. As you can see, I will reduce the fabric bulk at the 2 pointed edges of the collar, then I will turn the collar to the right sides. I will now go ahead and give the 2 front pieces and the collar a thorough press with my pressing iron. This is the back piece. I will now place the 2 front pieces with the right sides together on the back piece like this. I will move the facing out of the way, and then I will pin the front and the back shoulders together. After pinning, I will take it to my sewing machine and I will stitch it in place using half an inch sewing allowance. So now the stitching has been done, and I've given the shoulders a thorough press with my iron. and I have overlocked the raw edges of the two facing pieces. I have also ironed in place the half-an-inch seam allowance at the top edges of the facing pieces. I will now notch the center of the back neckline curve like this. I will also notch the middle of the collar like this. Making sure that the facing is out of the way, I will go ahead and sew just one of the collar pieces to the back neckline curve only, using half-an-inch sewing allowance. I will pin the collar in place first, making sure that the middle points of the collar and the back neckline match up. So now the stitching has been done, as you can see, just on the back neckline curve. Next, I will now sew the collar to the front necklines. I will sandwich the collar in between the front neckline and the facing like this. I will flip over the facing, sew the right sides together. I will now pin it in place. After pinning, I will take it to my sewing machine and I will stitch it in place using half-an-inch sewing allowance. I will do the same thing on the other front neckline as well. So now the stitching has been done, as you can see. I've sewn the two side seams together. I've also sewn the darts in place. And this is the collar that I have sewn to the front necklines. I will now go ahead and notch the seam allowance, and I will also reduce the seam allowance to about 1/4 inch. So I will trim off the excess seam allowance. We now have this open end at the back neckline. I will snip vertically like this, the points where the back neckline ends on the collar. I will also notch the seam allowance at the back neckline, and I will also reduce the seam allowance to about 1/4 inch. Next, I will fold in the half-an-inch seam allowance at this open end like this. After folding it, I will now go ahead and stitch it in place about 1/8 inch away from the edge of the fabric. So now the stitching has been done. As you can see, as for the top edges of the facing, I have pressed in place the half-an-inch seam allowance. To fix it in place, you can either use a needle and a thread or a hemming gun to secure it firmly in place. So you can use this hemming gun to secure it firmly in place. This is the final look of the camp collar. I have given it a thorough press with my pressing iron. You can now go ahead and fix buttons and buttonholes to the center front of the garment. If you find this video helpful, do not forget to give it a thumbs up, drop a comment down below, share this video with your friends who are interested in sewing, and do not forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel if you haven't done so already. See you in my next tutorial. Bye, and thank you so much for watching.